Well, tell you what, y'all. Here we go again. Here we go again. Falcons lose. Falcons lose 21-16. You don't get any credit for making this one closer, in my opinion. You don't. Just not a good way to end that game. You had the momentum in the last 10 minutes. You had your opportunities to take that game, and you did not. You had your chances to win the game with some horrible play calling, horrific play calling, and the drive before the last drive. So all the talk about what we're going to do next, does Raheem need a shot and all of that? Hopefully all of that is gone by the window. It's time to start figuring this thing out for 2021. You hate to say it because the defense actually played pretty well. Yes, we gave up the touchdowns, but your offensive play was so putrid this game. It ticks me off because you wasted a really decent defensive effort. Taysom Hill showed who he was in the end. In the end, when it got a little tight, Taysom Hill is not a great quarterback. Not even a great quarterback. He's not even a good quarterback. Can he run? Yes. But not a good quarterback. I am so sick and tired of the narrative about how great he is and how he makes things better. It's just horrible. Dirk Cutter should be taking his bags out for him right now. Just terrible. 3rd and 2, and you going with a toss sweep. 3rd and 2. Knowing Demario Davis, I would have given you a better chance if you went straight up the middle. What play calling was that? Absolutely ridiculous. Paul, how you doing, brother? My sister said out there, yeah, this is ridiculous. Gregory says, hey, Steve, Dirk Cutter just gave the Saints that game. Robert, we need to blow this coaching staff up. We need more dynamic quarterback play. We lost to a wide receiver playing quarterback. We need to focus on the GM. Dirk should be fired today. He should not be allowed back on the premises. And look, I'm not shocked that everybody's coming up with that. I'm not shocked that that's the sentiment with everybody. That was horrible. That was absolutely horrible. The play calling in those last 2 drives was such garbage. I don't even understand what he was thinking. You had 3rd and 2. You had the Saints on the run for the first time in 2 games. You had their defense playing backing up. And you decide to run a toss sweep on a 3rd and 2. Lord have mercy. Andre, what's going on, brother? Brandon says fire Dirt. I think everybody is in that category right now. Dub J, this on the offense. Sean, this was definitely on the offense. DeMarcus, Dirt got to go today. Andre, open the lines, brother. We got some football to talk about. Matter of fact, I apologize. I'm put this up here right quick. Give me about 2 seconds to get things started. We're going to have some calls here in a couple of seconds. Falcons lose 21-16. Saints, main rival, sweep us again, 2nd time in 3 years. I don't know. It's a team game, folks. There are some times when you sit back and you say, you know what, the offense wins this, defense wins this. At the end of the day, it's a team sport. And I truly believe that. But today, of all days, the offense, there's no excuse for whatever play call that Dirk Cutter was throwing out there was just not working. We're taking calls a little early today. Caller, how you doing today? This is Steve. Identify yourself. Tell me how you doing now.
What's up, brother Steve? This is
Dre. Talk to me, man. I'm at a loss for words of what I just saw in the last 5 minutes.
So you hit the nail right on the head earlier, man. When you said this is it for Raheem Morris.
Yeah.
Like I said weeks ago, although yes, we have been winning under him, we still see the same things. There's no sense of urgency on the football team. It's like they make a game plan during the week and then in the game just bang their head in the wall with the game plan because there is zero, going into the locker room and switching it up or, okay, well, this is not working, let's do this. I mean, it's just the same old. The offensive plays are garbage. Like, I understand everybody wants to put it on Matt. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we had before, because I started watching early, then I came back. we had 40 yards rushing, with 25 or 30 of that being one play.
Right.
You're not going to beat the team and you cannot run the ball. So what do? They load up secondary and they just come from that.
That's all they did. That was their game plan. Go ahead.
And it's like, where is the accountability, man? Like, I hate to see it. Where is someone jumping on someone's back, screaming in their face, grabbing their helmet, screaming in their face? It's like, oh well, I'm getting paid. That's what I feel like when I'm watching them. You know what I mean?
Well, that was one of the reasons, Dre, that I said I'm going to let you finish in a second. That was one of the reasons why I said, while as good as Raheem has improved things, 4-2 and now 4-3, you can't sneeze at. There's a certain part of me that says I need a fresh kick behind person to come in there and shake them and say, y'all not as great as y'all think y'all are. The last regime loved y'all. I'm not in love with y'all. Y'all just had three straight losing seasons. I'm not in love with you. I need you to work. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And people give me flack all the time because I say, and I know he's not a popular choice, but I know as far as coaches available right now,
right.
Well, he's not even available. But as far as coaches right now, I would love to see Harbaugh be behind the reins. Why? Because I know he's going to jump in there, you know what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's going to jump in there on them.
Yeah.
And that's what they need.
And he's and by far, of course, when you think about it, he is probably not the most popular name in the world to seeing as how he can't beat Penn State or Indiana. But he is somebody that has a tendency to not be liked by his players because he expects more of them. And the 49ers couldn't wait to get rid of him when he was, at least the players were.
Absolutely. You know, and on top of that, he got a, you know, people say, well, look what he did with the 49ers, you know. I mean, he had a huge cancer with Colin Kaepernick, not no fault of his own, but the whole Colin thing, you know, he had a whole lot to deal with. Will it happen? Absolutely not. Probably not, you know.
Right.
But him or Dabo, me personally, if I was AD, I would throw the kitchen sink at both of them. And look, you can take 65% of Home Depot, you just come here and get my football team to win it. I give it to Dabo or Harbaugh. One of the two of y'all come with these boys in the shape. I mean, brother, I'm looking at this football team, and like I said before, I see things that I teach and when I used to coach Little League before high school, not to do.
Right.
You keep containment on defense. You know what I mean? I'm watching Ridley drop ball after ball. Me as a coach, first thing, everybody on the field right now, take the gloves off. Y'all not putting them back on until I see y'all catching balls. You know what I mean? Like, accountability, there is none. It's just, let me put this watered down garbage out here on the field and just expect the fans to like it.
Right. One of the things when you start, I think one of the critical plays to me was that 3rd down and 2, the series before we just had the little Hail Mary or mini Hail Mary, whatever you call it. How frustrating is that? How frustrating was that for you, that play call?
I mean, it's so sad to say at all. I was like, well, that makes sense. Right.
You know? Yeah.
It's 3rd and 2. We could actually win this game instead of maybe doing, some trickery, maybe a play action because, most smart people know a run is coming. Maybe let me do a little bit of trickery, do a play action, or heck, I'll even do a screen. Let the whole left side come in and, screen somebody.
Right.
No, we're just going to go ahead and do a dumb pitch and get swallowed up. I mean, it makes sense. That's normal Falcon.
That's just awful. I got a couple other people on here. Let me leave this with you,
sure.
Dre. At this moment right now, and I think you answered the question, but I'm going to ask people because everybody's been talking about the last few weeks, and I have been on the other side. Raheem, 4-3, defense incredibly bad. Listen, let me, and I'm going to go into this when you get off the phone. Defense played really good, but do you give him an opportunity? 4-3, swept by your rivals. Do you still give him an interview at the end of the year?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No second half adjustments.
Right.
No accountability for the players. Like, absolutely not. No fire in the team. Just flat, watered down. No.
Right.
Absolutely not.
I don't blame you one bit, my brother. We'll meet again, man. Thank you for your insight, man, and we're gonna catch you later on. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dre. All right, so I'm sure a lot of y'all want to talk about this one. Let's go down. John Everett said, why was Gurley even playing? I don't know. Owner treats it like a hobby. Lynn's so sad. Clayton, Dirks have to go. Our defense can't be great if they're playing 70% of the game. Big point. Caller, how you doing? This is Steve. Thanks for joining us after the game. Identify yourself for us.
Hey, Steven, it's Greg, man.
Greg. Oh, man. So, Greg, what? Okay.
I got a question for you before you ask me the question.
What's the question?
How in the world we put up a 40-burger in Las Vegas, which is clearly a better team at this point? They're better than New Orleans.
I think they are, too. I think they are too.
How did we put up 40 and score 16 against a gadget quarterback, which we already had footage on? Defense did cause some turnovers, but man, Dirk Cutter play calling is abysmal, man, and that's an understatement.
You just hit it on the nail. And I want you to talk to this, Greg. The defense today, and I know there's some people who are going to say, well, it doesn't matter. The defense they let them score 3 touchdowns, blah, blah, blah. An average defense is going to give up 20 points. An average defense. The average score in the NFL is like 24-21. Yeah. An average defense is going to give up 21 points. Mm-hmm. Our offense was so putrid that Younghoe Koo, we're going to make Younghoe Koo break the record for field goals in a year.
Pretty much.
And so tell me your frustration, and I know I'm speaking for you, I shouldn't do that, but tell me, are you frustrated with the way the defense in the last 4 to 5 weeks has had to carry our offense? You know, sans last week, maybe against the Raiders. But
of course, because this is the thing. Everything the defense doing is null and void if the offense can't capitalize off points. I've seen a lot of plays that we could have clearly just demolished the team, but instead of getting the 7, we're getting the 3.
Right.
That was our biggest downfall. I mean, instead of capitalizing and getting the 7, we get the 3. And that was killing us. And I mean, you just think about it. We on the Raheem Morris, we were 4-2. Just think about if we just would have cut the cord off
early. Thinking we would have cut the cord last year.
Yeah, before the season started, even last year. In my opinion, I thought Quinn should have been fired after the next season, like when we went to the Super Bowl the following season.
Right.
He should have been fired after that season. There should have been no 2019 and 2020 regime of Dan Quinn, in my opinion.
Right.
Because you prove, if somebody show you who they is, believe them. Like, come on, man.
Well, and Dirk Cutter, for the life of me, I don't understand what he is seeing on this field and some of the things he's playing. Some of those plays I think we ended up making in the end. I think they were just playing pitch and catch. I really do. I don't even think there was any type of thought to the play. I think Matt was out there saying, Julio go this way, Calvin go this way, and I'll throw it there. Just give me a little time.
Steven, at 3rd and 2, you would have came out better instead of the outside sweep. You would have came out better doing the inside draw play.
The inside was gashing them.
You know they pitching the edge. Man. You would have came out better doing it inside draw play and got them 2 yards a whole lot better than trying to do an outside sweep. Come on, Dirk. I can call this team better than he can.
I think one of the things too that we realize, and I know this doesn't have anything to do with the Falcons' woes or whatever, but I am so unimpressed with Taysom Hill. And listening to Jonathan Vilma, the former cheating Saint from the Bounty Gate year, he is such garbage. Taysom Hill will get if Taysom Hill gets behind in a game, which is the problem. If he gets behind in the game, notice when things got tight, Taysom Hill couldn't take that pressure.
Let me sum this up in a few key points.
Go ahead.
Even about Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is a less accurate, little faster Tim Tebow.
Okay. I can go with that.
Yeah, but
I can go with that.
At least Tim Tebow was a little better, more accurate, and he wasn't as accurate that good either. But he was more accurate than Taysom Hill. They're not getting far relying on Taysom Hill, especially in that same division. Do you actually think the Saints can beat Seattle right now?
I don't think the Saints can beat Seattle. I don't think they can beat Green Bay. I honestly don't think they can beat the Rams. Not with that defense. I don't think they can.
They're just like, and this is the proven point right here. I see Tampa Bay and New Orleans in the same boat. Y'all have a decent regular season, but as soon as the playoffs hit, y'all gonna lay an egg in the first round. Because to be honest, you're not. I mean, look, they beat up on our team that's already beat up, which is us.
Right.
They barely squeaked by a couple of teams that they played. Their record, they're not as good as their record reflects. And I guarantee you, the true meaning to go to playoffs going to expose it.
Right.
I guarantee, especially with these teams in the NFC, like you said, the Rams, the Seattle. Come on, man, they're gonna crush their heart.
Okay, I'm gonna leave you with this one right here, Greg. Okay. Raheem, yes or no?
Not no, but excuse my French, but hell no. Plenty of opportunities. Plenty of opportunities to prove that. But this is my thing. I've been looking at a lot of blog sites, and the word on the street is yet again the Falcons are still looking at Eric Bieniemy.
Right.
I'm just still to this day not sold on him because he's thriving off Andy Reid's offense. He got to show me at least a little bit more, but hey, who's to know what the future will bring? I'm just not sold on.
I'm gun shy because the last super coach that we got, that one went to the Super Bowl, two had great players around him and came here, see Dan Quinn, did not succeed in this game. Granted, he did. He did not. Greg, I'm gonna let you go, brother. I got a couple online, man. Thank you so much, my friend.
Let me continue watching the show.
Thank you, buddy. I don't know. I'm trying to. I'm frustrated, and I want to give credit. I absolutely want to give credit to Raheem because the defense has definitely been playing. The stuff Michael Thomas do, he does that to everybody. He does that to everybody. They only scored 21 points. The Saints defense, they did exactly what they said they're going to put more pressure on Matt. How do you not adjust for that? You have to make adjustments. It frustrates me to all end that you sit there and see what the Saints are going to do to you, and you let them continue to put that same pressure on you. Same thing. Same as that thing. Conley says, Dirk got to go. Jimmy Saints aren't even that great. We gave them 2 opportunities. Dub J, nobody wants to hear you rehash Collins debacle. I don't know what you're talking about. Damn Harbaugh. Okay. If you're saying bring Harbaugh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. And we missed 2 interceptions. Yes. Oliver had one. Dub J said this forum shouldn't even be about defense. Here's the problem, though, Dub J. Even if, as I'm gloating about the defense, we lost the game. We lost the game. And so it's a team sport. You win and you lose together. And right now we have to make sure we play a balanced game. Our defense has been playing well. Our offense has not. You can't have one without the other unless you're the 85 Bears. Hey, Sean, what's going on? The 49ers were garbage and had nothing to do with it. They ain't got much work to do on either side. Yeah, now let me clarify when I was talking about Harbaugh. He mentioned Harbaugh. I'm not sold on Harbaugh. But at the same time, I get what he's saying. Harbaugh's reputation is not getting along with the players on his team, pushing them harder than they want to be pushed. If you think about this team right now, this team has some of the same folks in place under the TD Quinn era that are used to being told that they're the best in the world. You need somebody in here to come put a mirror in front of their face and tell them, fellas, even with all the stats, even with all the all pros and the Pro Bowls and all this and all that, the last 3 years, you have had losing seasons. A team less than 5 years removed from the playoffs. And 5 years from the Super Bowl. The fact that we've taken such a dive, that's got to be frustrating. That's just frustrating to me. Caller, how you doing? This is Steve. Thanks for joining us. Identify yourself for us.
When I tell you that he does can pull a truck, put the dust up to the truck, and let go.
Folks, that's the wisdom and the wisdom of our buddy John Harris. He's here to remind us that what he's been telling us for years and years has come to fruition, where we all have come around. And I can't help but to echo your thoughts. So, sir, because of your accuracy, I'm going to give you the floor.
43 to what was the
43-6.
43. You turn around and look the same way you did against the Saints before 43 points. And the difference was all the mistakes that the Raiders were making. That's the difference. Your defense has been playing their natural best hands off, man.
I'm gonna, because you're supposed to be on screen with me and you wimped out and didn't put your thing in here. I'm gonna let you answer a couple of questions. Tracy D. Green wants to say, I want to know, why did they run the ball with Gurley at 3-2 instead of throwing the ball?
Oh, now see that equivalent to what Mike Stem did over there in London. You just submitted your resignation. You need to be fired right now. You need to be fired right now.
Right.
Yeah. Man, look. See, did you see how they walked down the field when Matt Ryan just got the ball and threw it? Just stand back there, pity-patting the ball, and the announcers were saying it.
Oh.
Matt Ryan, he back there patting the ball. Then he goes get that. He needs to go with his first read that's open and throw it to him accurately, hopefully, because I thought they were going to put a tombstone right there on the 20-yard line where Gage was, because Matt Ryan almost got that man killed. You know? Oh, Steve, I'm just saying.
Well, let me ask you another question. While you're talking about that, you make a good point. You're talking about Jonathan Vilma. He brought that up several times, and I know we've talked about it over the last 2 weeks. If you think about it, they were actually calling the pass interferences and the defensive hold in the second half. My thought was, why not try to go down the field and see if you can pull one of those calls from the refs? Seems like they were ready to throw the flag today for a change.
Yes, because we were giving them the reason to throw the flag. Okay, you know, just like the Georgia lottery. If you don't play, you can't win. Okay, you got to go down there and get you a flag. And they were making it easy because they had the holder, they had the ground,
right?
So they about to get away. We sitting up here and see, this is the crazy thing. You messed up 3/4 of this game. 3/4 of this game on offense. Defense out there on the field. The Gatorade bucket is still full of Gatorade because nobody got a chance to drink none of the doggone 4-4. You know,
now Jimmy asked the question, and he says, I want to know why John isn't holding the receivers accountable for their drops as much as he harps on Matt Ryan's bad throws.
I'm not holding the receivers accountable on those drops as much as I am Matt Ryan's bad throws, because Matt Ryan throws bad more than the receivers drop the ball. Okay. Yeah. Now, last week, when Zacchaeus dropped that ball in the end zone,
right,
I said something about it. I said something about it this past week. But see, the thing is, the few things that I say about those little drops, they tell into insignificance because of how many bad throws those receivers get.
Right.
So, I mean, it's pitiful. And that pass that he threw to Ridley over on the left side, he just flung that up in the air, and Ridley just happened to get it. That's all that was. That wasn't no bad throw. And then he's throwing off his back foot, trying to quick arm it with no arm. See, hire right now, Dirk Cutter,
Right.
because of that one play. That one play right there, when you are down there, you put it in your quarterback's hands and you put it in your wide receiver's hands on a situation like that. Because running the ball with time running out, since you done messed up all the quarters anyway. You done messed up
Right.
3 quarters.
Right.
Shoot, close to 3.5 quarters you've messed up. You need a score. You need a score quick. Now, what I'm thinking they were trying to think, okay, we need to go ahead and score, but not leaving no time on the clock. Look, man, you can't afford to be trying to be cute, conservative, and careful. You got to go get it.
And you had those opportunities. I think what really would have given it to me, you know, Sean Payton, who has always been cocky when it comes to the Falcons, I thought he misplayed his hand down there at the end when Taysom Hill fumbled the ball. I think he was trying so hard to get that third touchdown for Taysom Hill that he almost messed around and lost that game.
Right.
And there's something to be said about rivalry. I'm trying to tell you, I think these guys need to put whoever comes in here needs to almost be like when you have a coach at Georgia Tech. You can lose to any other team, but we can't lose to Georgia. This right. Team here, the Saints, you can't lose to the Saints. Not twice.
And not in that fashion. You can't lose. Look, you got New Orleans Saints. Now, this Raiders game that we played last week, okay, fine win, whatever. But you knew who you had next on the schedule.
Right.
You had next on the schedule, and you were supposed to be preparing for them better than anybody else because of the fact of the rivalry.
Right.
So you can't go in here and have steps against your rivals like that, especially big talk and stuff. And I know you fired up. There is some people fired up by the first game that you shouldn't have lost in the fashion that you lost. Because, see, we started out this game the same way we started out that first game. And I said it at the time. We kicked 3 field goals in the first half. We came back in this game, kicked 3 field goals. I thought that was going to be all the score we were going to do. I thought that was it. You know, because it gave me no reason to think otherwise.
I got another person online, but let me ask you this last question before we break off. What going forward, is there a thought process now since you're 4-8 and you know you for all practical purposes mathematically, maybe not mathematically out, but you're gone. How do you play the next 4 games? Do you still just throw in the same guys ahead of time, or do you start looking for the future and see what redeemable parts you have for this team?
Redeemable part for whom is the question?
Well, there are going to be some guys that you start thinking about and I'm thinking about mostly from a Rich McKay standpoint, where you start saying, okay, today there was an obvious shift in running backs. You saw Ito Smith a lot more than you saw Brian Hill today. Now, I don't know if Brian got hurt or not, but you noticed you had Ito in there quite a bit more. Mr. Allison, I don't even know where he is now. I think he must have fallen off the face of the earth in his game plan. Do you see more of Michael Walker like we did a little bit today? In other words, start showcasing some of these guys and see how they play in real time. Or are we just trying to be 8-8 and get that number 16 pick in the draft like we always do?
Well, see, this is the thing, Steve. You're going to have a new coaching staff. You're going to have a new coaching staff, new GM. That man may decide to go in a completely new direction.
Right.
Okay? You're going to have players that are going to be hanging around you just by virtue of the fact they have contracts that you can't get rid of. Because, see, the whole team has been devalued by this season. By the last 2 seasons, this whole team has been devalued. Okay?
Right.
You can't get rid of your quarterback because it's going to cost you much. Julio, got to go back to the game. I got to go back to the game to explain about the running back. Now, they're asking me, they were asking me all on the game thread, why don't we have a good run game? Well, you don't have a good run game because New Orleans packed the line of scrimmage because they know the quarterback so well.
Right.
They know he's not going to go deep. So they pack the line of scrimmage, and anything that comes out from back there, they all on it. Right at the beginning of the doggone play. So you can't run. We have to use the pass to set up the run, to loosen those people up and bag those people up off the line of scrimmage. All right? If we can't do that, we can't run. We can't go anyplace. All right? Now, in addition to that, when this new coach comes in here, like I've been saying, you got to, okay, we've gone fast and Philly. We've gone quick and you know, trying to outsmart and outrun folk with the slowest folk in the NFL. Now, it's time to go in the other direction. We need to have some tractor trailers, diesel trucks, and dump trucks up on that line of scrimmage and pound people until they holler in submission. Just like the Falcons were when that round was just back then. We got to get that. Then that opens up your offense. Your pass offense opens up because they will be so hard on trying to stop run that you can bust them over the top with ease. But right now, man, this is just a confusing, frustrating ball of mess that we watching. And guess what? You got another year of this, at least, with Matt Ryan at quarterback. And if you keep Dirk Cutter, it's going to be the same doggone thing, even worse.
Brother, you gotta hook up. You gotta start watching your messenger thing. I thought I put the link in there again this time, but I'm gonna try to get it for you next go round and let you know what we do, because we were supposed to hook up. We're gonna try to get us together on the screen so we can do this a little bit better, man. But I'm gonna catch these other ones. I'll holler at you later on. At home and professionally.
Yeah, man. People feel another thing.
All right, Jay, we'll holler at you, brother. All right. Okay, let's look at some of the stats, man. The stats are sad. Taysom, overrated Hill, 27-37, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara, 15 carries, 88 yards, still barely getting that 100, hadn't got the 100 yards yet. Taysom Hill, 14 carries, 83 yards. Matt Ryan, passing 19 for 39, 273 yards, 1 touchdown. Sacked 3 times today. Ito Smith, 8 carries, 36 yards. Brian Hill, 5 carries, 18 yards. And the $5 million running back, Todd Gurley, 8 carries, 16 yards, 2.0. And here's the problem. He had a 13-yard run. So add that up, y'all. Todd Gurley ran for 16 yards, but he had 8 carries, 16 yards, but ran for 13. I don't know. I can't make this up. Todd Gurley, 5 catches, 108 yards. Julio, 6 catches, 94 yards. Russell Gage, 4 catches, 51 yards. I mean, it's really, really strange how that works out. Sorry, y'all. I had somebody got on here real quick. Let me go to some of these. Gary said, Clayton said, now today I thought Ridley had the TD instead of running out of bounds. You know, there was a thought process. Well, here's the problem, Clayton. If you happen to, on that particular play, remember, if he doesn't run out of bounds and he gets tackled inbounds, the game is over anyway. You better hope and pray that you can that you can get to the touchdown, because if you don't, it's over. So that's why I think he ran out of bounds, just to be sure. Caller, how you doing? This is Steve. Thanks for joining us. Identify yourself for me.
Hey, Steve, man, it's David.
David, my friend, how you doing, sir?
Oh, boy.
another disappointing outing to our rivals. And I think, David, I don't think some folks, I think some people might get this Falcon Saints game thing. You know, this sucks more than losing to Chicago. I'm sorry. This sucks more losing more to Dallas like we lost to Dallas. We got swept by New Orleans.
This is all right. And Steve, I'm going to tell you right now. Your man, Dog Jonathan Stiegelman, but he had one thing right.
Okay.
The game plan did not change from game 1 to game 2.
Now, I'm not even going to lie to you. I probably had a little hate towards him because I probably was a little bit jaded when it came to him, but he did call some stuff right. But it was at one point where he was like, Taysom Hill, rah, rah. New Orleans, rah, rah. And he had his Super Bowl ring on. I don't know if you noticed that.
But the thing of it, and you want to know something?
What's that?
You want to know something?
What's that?
This is the thing that got me. If you go back to look at game 1, they won't have Taysom ball 30 plus times on us end. In that game too.
Right.
But he didn't see what was open, and he just took off running. That reason he only had 23 throws in that first game.
Yeah, I think the thing that disappointed me the most, David, and I'm gonna definitely let you get to your points, but I'm gonna ask you a question. Did you see anything that makes you think Taysom Hill is ready for the NFL playoffs if he started right now? Not against the Falcons. Exactly. And I put this post up the other week, and people killed me for it. I said something like, the sports talk shows don't even pay any attention when we lose to a gimmick quarterback. Right.
And personally, that bothers me.
Yeah.
I'm saying, are we really that bad?
Right.
It doesn't strike anybody odd that we lose to that. And everybody, and look, and if y'all want to say, and y'all don't think he's getting a quarterback, look at his numbers against us, and look at his numbers last week against them.
Right. That's true. A Denver team that played with a guy who hadn't played quarterback since high school. And yeah, the score says 31-3, but you look suspect even in that game.
Even that game. They had 9 throws for 51 yards, something like that.
Right. And he showed his true colors at the end. Again, there hasn't been a team that's been close to him. But if you think about the last couple of New Orleans Saints drives, the Falcons stopped them. Sean Payton got cocky in the last and inside the 10 and tried to throw the ball 3 straight times against the Falcons, trying to run up the score and trying to give Taysom his stats.
Exactly.
And it got called out.
Look at what they did there. Look at what a genius I am. Got almost cost him his game.
Right.
But Steve, please let me get to this offense.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Please let me get to this offensive coordinator.
Talk to me.
Third, I'm just not talking about the 32. I'm talking about this entire game plan, Steve. They did not change it from the beginning.
Right.
They did not change it from the first time. You see, we are having problems up front, blocking these front four.
Right.
Why are you calling these long development intermediate routes?
It baffles me that you see your geriatric quarterback that can't get that ball out quick. Look, Vilma, to your point, Vilma made great points about Matt holding on to the ball And he made some great points. So to your point, to Dirk Cutter, what adjustments do you make to that? None.
He made none. I mean, for the life of me, where in the family of devil was Haydenhurst in this? Where was he?
Man, I was looking for him too. I think he on a milk carton somewhere. He's on a milk carton, bro. I
was like, my God, I was sitting up here like, I'm like, wow, we're not using the tight end. I'm like, the thing is wild for you. I'm like, there's no word about the big stuff with us. The thing is wild. What are you doing?
We have to come to the conclusion. Listen, I am, you are, most of us are Falcons through and through. I think we're all having separation. Well, I shouldn't say that. We're having, some of us, separation anxiety. Just because we criticize our 13-year, thank you for the memories quarterback, doesn't mean we hate the Falcons. What it means is it's time to evolve. It's time to change. It's time, and that includes Mr. Cutter, and that has to include bringing in a legitimate, not Ben Kirk, not Matt Schaub, bringing in a legitimate competition for Matt Ryan at quarterback. Now, go ahead. Yeah. We got, listen, if you look at I know everybody is so huggy kissy with Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. There are some pretty good quarterbacks out there. I'm naming names, but I'm not saying these happen to be with the Falcons. Mr. Trask looks good out there. I like Wilson out there in BYU. Mon, guy from, listen, he's more of a project, but I like what Mon is doing out there at Texas A&M. But he shows flashes and he can move. These young guys today are taught to move, David. They taught to move.
Because like they said, this has been happening now for 10 years in Pee Wee football, Steve.
Right.
To put your best athletes at quarterback.
That's true. Yep. This is true.
You're putting your best athletes at quarterback.
This is true.
It's been happening for 10 years at Pee Wee now. Even at the Pee Wee level. And like you said, we just going to have to face that we're going to have to evolve at some point.
Right.
That statuesque, sit back there, survey the field quarterback is not working no more because defenses have evolved as well. Defensive players have evolved as well, Steve. They've gotten better. They've gotten strong.
Let me tell you something. If you really think about it, Taysom Hill 2 years ago, the way the Falcons defense was designed, would have run for almost 200 yards. The Falcons, for the most part today, aside of the little 40-yard run, yeah, we give them credit. But aside of that, they kind of kept him in check pretty much most of the game, especially near the end.
And I tell you another person that did a very, very good job on, even though he did a good job, that was Alvin Kamara.
Yeah. Alvin Kamara, what was the last game? Was it the last game? They said that was the first time he ran for 100 against us, the last game?
I believe it might have been that Thanksgiving debacle last
year. Yeah.
I don't think he got 100 yards.
No, you know what it was? I apologize. The stat was that was the first rushing touchdown he had last week 2 weeks ago against us. We usually keep him in. He doesn't have the monster games against us like he has against everybody else. So you have to give credit to they have called pretty good defensive games for the last 4 to 5 weeks, even including the debacle with Detroit. Even with the Saints game we played last time, the defense has not been good. Last time, the defense just got so tired that That's why, and a little today, give the defense credit. It would have been easy for those guys to just go through the motions when they were inside the 10 and did that, and they raised up and did.
But this defense, and that's one thing John Harris did get right. This defense is playing its tail off. They are playing their tails off right now. The 21 point team. 21 points. They gave up points. They gave up.
Yeah.
They basically gave up 7 to score because I think they scored in the first, they scored in the second, they scored right when they got the ball.
Right. And that was it. They did a job, but the problem is, like I was saying from the beginning of the video, it's a balance. You have to have one. You're not gonna be able to. I said the only team in history that I know that their defense basically ran the team was the 85 Bears. Because they actually not only played defense, but they scored defense too. That was the only team that I saw that you had such about. Even the Baltimore teams didn't do that. The Pittsburgh teams of the past didn't do that. That's the only team. That's why I say New Orleans is an overrated team. And at the end, when they run into somebody that put up some points on them and sneak around and get past those handsy secondary guys that get too much credit.
Because you know something. That point you made about the Rams.
Right.
It won't happen against them because the Rams will block up that front.
Oh, absolutely.
They will block up that front.
Absolutely, they will.
And Marshon Lattimore got exposed today.
Yes, he did.
Lattimore got exposed today.
Well, remember, I just talked to, I think I was talking to, I'm trying to think, was I talking to Dre on the other side? What I was saying, I would have liked to see you throw the ball out there a few times. The referees were starting to call all that pulling and tugging and things that they were doing out there. You got to go out there and try to see if you can get that call. Especially if you're averaging 2.5 yards a carry like we've been doing, you got to go out there and try to throw. At that point, I don't care about your interceptions, Matt. Go out there and throw it up there and let your best players go for it. Let Julio go for it. Let Calvin go for it.
Exactly.
And it just frustrates me that we can't do that. Before I let you go, I'm gonna ask you the same question. And I think I know the answer already. But despite getting swept by the Saints, the defense has looked good. If you're Arthur Blank / Rich McKay, do you give Raheem an interview going into?
No.
Yeah.
Because just like you said, he was part of that mess before.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Part of that mess before. And guess what? We just lost 2 games to our rival in the very same fashion.
Same fashion.
You took no control, and you took no control. From what I see, you took no control. So no, you know.
And you own.
But I tell you who does get an interview to me.
Who's that?
Oprah.
Yeah. Listen. I would truly see if he thought about staying. I was looking at one of the comments that Juan Lamar just said Jeff Ulbrich made some defensive adjustments after the Saints scored in the third. The Saints' last 5 possessions, punt twice, fumble, punt twice, defense really good. Juan, we looking at you. That's an awesome point. And Dave makes a good point that you give him an interview. I don't think anybody's going to be calling him for a head coaching job, but I do think he's shown that he can run a defense.
Yeah, he's shown it. Yeah. And that's what the interview's for, a coordinator.
Absolutely. That's what you do.
Whoever the GM comes in, whoever the GM comes in, and hires the head coach.
Yeah.
Arthur Blank goes to that head coach and says, at least give the man an interview. If you don't like what you hear, okay.
Yeah. Our sister Lisa is going to say, I'm not giving Raheem anything except a thank you note for his prior services. Can we fire Dirk Cutter now? I said, listen, I think we talked about that, Lisa, so much that, Raheem, to me, thank you for at least giving fans something because we didn't have a win with Dan. We got 4 of them. We played tougher, but you can't get swept by your rivals. I'm sorry.
No.
Not in your interim. You can't get swept by your rivals.
A glimpse of what the defense can be.
Exactly. There you go. Thank you. I'll get a present under the tree and give to him, but that's about all he gonna get this year. Hey, man, take it easy, brother. I'm gonna holler at you later down the line, my friend.
Okay, man.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I hear you say, Derek. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Greg said the days of the pocket passes are getting slim to none. All QBs nowadays make plays beyond the pocket, and that was my point, Gregory. When I start talking about when you start talking about the future of the NFL and the evolution of the position of quarterback, this is not to say we're not appreciative of the past, but in order for us to go forward, we've got to upgrade the most important position on the field. That doesn't mean we hate Atlanta. That doesn't mean we hate our team. That means we want our quarterback to get better. Caller, how you doing? This is Steve. Identify yourself for me.
Steve, this is Ricky. What's going on?
Ricky, my friend. How you doing, sir?
I took a little break.
Oh, it's okay.
I took a little break. It's been a couple of weeks I break.
Okay, ain't no problem, brother. We ain't going nowhere.
And I've been really trying to decipher what I've been witnessing in these past 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
Hey, talk to me. You've been gone for a couple of weeks. We don't cut you off here. Go ahead. Tell me how you feeling, bro.
To what I'm saying, we have a prehistoric offense.
Right.
With a modern defense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the defense is being overworked because we have a prehistoric offense. Now,
okay.
I watched this whole thing play out, right?
All right.
First of all, let me just put this in the open. The New Orleans Saints does not have a dominating defense.
They don't. And
I want people to really understand what I'm saying, and I'm going to explain it. If New Orleans front seven does not get to your quarterback, you will run 30, 40 yards down the field. Their secondary is garbage. I don't care who it is. TJ Williams,
right.
The other, all of them back there.
Right.
The only one that's decent is Malcolm Jenkins, but then he's old.
Right.
But when you start breaking down, all you had to do was look at the pulling, the tugging, the holding, the pass interference on all of our wide receivers.
Absolutely.
That's all you got to see there.
And they missed some.
And then if the front seven doesn't get to your quarterback, you will get a long day
right.
for the New Orleans Saints. So please don't give them all of the credit.
Right. Okay. That's fair.
Second thing I want to say, as much as a lot of us, and like I said, I had to make that decision this year. Matt Ryan is not the quarterback for where we're going. Can't be.
Okay.
But right now, with the speed of the defensive linemen that's coming on the field nowadays, because you got D linemen that's running sub 4.5, and some of them running 4.4. You can't stand in the pocket nowadays and try to pass the ball. Not going to happen. Matt Ryan stood in that pocket all day long, and all I see him do was hold the ball, bump the ball, tap the ball. The ball has got to come out. That's all I got to say.
No, look. That's fair. Look, and Rick, I'm gonna let you finish, but I want to interject something. How many times? Listen, we heard it last week in the game again. Listen, even in the game against the Raiders, We heard the commentary say he's holding the ball. 2 weeks ago against the Saints, he's holding the ball. Today against the Saints, he's holding the ball. There's something when you see these other younger, they happen to be younger, most of them, with the exception of Russell and maybe Aaron Rodgers or something like that. But the guys you see now, Josh Allen, the kid up in Josh Allen, the kid in Buffalo, Josh Allen. You see Kyler Murray. You see exactly. Listen, you even see Herbert up in LA. We see him next. Was it next week? We see him next time. Those guys don't sit there and try. They let that ball go and give. They've been
trained. They've been trained. If you don't see it, get out.
Yeah.
Why? Because if there's more behind you than it is in front of you, you got daylight.
Speak to this right quick, Ricky. Juan says Cutter and Ryan went back to the no huddle quick tempo, and they didn't give. They should have stayed there. They should have never left. Absolutely, that's what Juan is saying. He said they didn't give no time to align their defense, and as a result, we saw our offense thrive. New Orleans knew the sets were running. Yep,
should have been nothing but tempo.
Yep.
Cam Jordan should have been asking for oxygen after the fifth play. Why? Because you trying to get past our O-line, but your boys out there, none of them. Marshawn Lattimore, that other boy that they brought in, TJ Williams, cannot stand with Gage. They can't run with Gage.
Right.
They definitely can run with Ridley. Julio is too much of a man for him. And to be brutally honest, that tight end that we got, we wasted him.
Yeah.
Tight end that we got. That boy got stupid feet.
We saw glimpses of it this year. We've seen glimpses of it. Yeah.
We're not. Sit Gurley down. Come down. Sit Gurley down so we can get something off of him. Sit Gurley down. Ryan Hill can run. Edo Smith can run. Get these boys who can run the ball and let them run. You have nothing to lose. You should have said Gurley should sit down. If you want to use Gurley, if we first and goal, use Gurley.
I'll almost argue.
When we're within 10 yards of the end zone, use Gurley. Anytime else, Ryan Hill need to be running the rock.
I'll almost argue if you were going to do that stupid third and two play, if you were going to do that, do it with the guys that's been getting you the 7-yard gashes the time, because Edo was hitting the hole today. He was hitting the hole better. I'm not saying he was the second coming of O.J. Simpson or somebody, but he was better than what Gurley was doing.
He was better than, and then where's the creation now? Yeah, here's where I'm really going to go home. Where is the creativity in the offensive playbook from Dirk Cutter? Because you're running these vanilla plays that they automatically know. This is how Cam Jordan works. Cam Jordan knows if we can just hold long enough, Matt Ryan is not going to throw the ball.
Right.
He's going to hold it. He's not going to throw it away. He's going to hold the ball. So if he holds the ball, one, he's not mobile. Do you know why Cam Jordan knows that? Because his quarterback is the same kind of quarterback.
That's true. This is true.
When you practicing with that every week, you automatically know what you're dealing with. Because Drew Brees is not a runner. Drew Brees is a pocket passer. So here's the deal. If you know, because I was sitting down, I showed my wife. I said, hey, here it comes. They're coming with fresh 6 stack in the box. Matt, if you see 6 stacks in the box and you in the shotgun, right? Then automatically you should be looking for really Gage, somebody on the screen, because everybody coming your way.
Yeah, absolutely.
None of that happened. Matt sitting there holding the ball. I don't know how many times I saw Gage. Matter of fact, Steve, on the touchdown that when it was doubling Julio. If you go back and look at the film. Gage ran an out route and then ran an in route, coming in toward the goal line, going right, while Julio was going left, and all he had to do was drop the ball off right there. Gage would have at least got a first down, at least.
Right.
It would have been first and goal.
Right.
What do? You're going to try to throw double coverage on Julio Jones, and he already kept him with a hamstring. So my thought process is, Dirk Cutter needs to get fired tomorrow. No, my bad. Sorry. I do apologize. Dirk Cutter needs to be fired today.
Wait a minute. It's the Christmas season. Come on, Ricky. Ricky, come on, man. That dude deserves at least the holiday season.
No, sir. Dirk Cutter needs to be fired today.
Y'all, Ricky is being the Grinch. He is going to lie. I'll
be Scrooge the Grinch, whatever you got to say. Here's still.
Oh, man.
The defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons went into halftime and made adjustments.
Right.
What did he do? Made it uncomfortable for that pocket because Taysom Hill is garbage too. He made it uncomfortable for Taysom Hill in that pocket. So you just can't stand up there and dump them 18, 19-yard passes down the field.
Well, when you to your point, right after that, they did give up the touchdown right after the half, but nothing more. And when you start thinking about, to your point, adjustments, what coaches do we start thinking about? Start thinking about Bill Belichick. We start thinking about the best coaches always make adjustments to what the other team is doing. We don't have that right now. Well, we got it on the defensive side because excuse me, I forgot who brought it up. The Dan Quinn, for some reason, was not letting those guys have the creativity that all of a sudden they have now. And now they're letting them call plays and all this first down, second down, and Dan Quinn will call a third down. That dumb crap. But now they're actually letting those guys play. They're letting them play ball. And you see the results. The defense hasn't given more than 23 points. Yes. Yeah. Look, our linebackers right now are playing some really good ball. And as much as nobody hears Grady's voice, nobody hears about Grady. Grady is getting double teamed. Every time you hear somebody holding, go back to the play and look who they're holding. They're holding 9-7. Every time.
He's unstoppable. He's the Aaron Donald.
There you go. I'm telling you, I think he's the second or third best defensive lineman in the league. And he just doesn't get it.
You got to get Aaron Donald his props.
Oh, absolutely.
Aaron Donald.
Dude, look at the tape. All you have to do is look at the game. We sit there. My son, who's right over here with me, we sit there every time, and every time there's a hole, I'm looking at it and I call it. Look what they're doing to Grady. Not only do they double him, they tackle him. You could almost call it every time.
But then you got, like I said, all of this talk about how good a Kamara was. Taysom Hill had one good run. Kamara had one good run.
Right.
They held the New Orleans Saints to 21 points. Period. 21, 2-1. We got 3 field goals and a touchdown, Steve. Why can't we, when we get in the red zone, why do we come away with 3 points? Because Dirk Cutter needs a stocking full of coal and sit on his way. I don't know where he goes.
Listen.
I don't know where he goes. I want another person to say anything about Steve Sarkisian and how he was talking.
Oh, man. Yeah. Listen.
Woo! Somebody else talk about how bad Steve Sarkisian was.
Look, and I know it's college, but he down there scoring 40, 50, 60 a game down there with some of them young boys. I would almost think about bringing him and that's another name I want to mention, Matt Jones. Bring some of those guys. Listen, the whole draft, I'm gonna make a transition with you and get your opinion on this before I switch up to the next caller. The next generation of quarterback is coming to the Falcons. Listen, a GM is not going to come to this franchise and hang their future on a 36-plus-year-old quarterback who can't get the ball out and it can't do it. He's not going to do it. Give me two names that people have not talked about coming out of college that you would consider. Maybe they won't start the season because I got to feel, folks, Matt Ryan's going to be here. $40 million contract. Nobody's going to take that. But name me one or two quarterbacks that you've seen out of college that you would consider saying, hey, let me take a chance and see if with some real coaching if we can do something with them. Give me two names.
Trask.
I like Trask.
Trask from Florida.
Yeah.
The quarterback they got down there in Alabama.
Yes, Matt Jones. Yes, sir.
Matt Jones.
Yes, sir.
Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Bo Nix is put into the right scheme.
Yeah.
Bo Nix would be dangerous. And then also, there's a couple other ones that I looked at. The one you was talking about, the cat Brigham Young.
Yeah. Zach Wilson. I like him. I like him a lot.
Good.
I like him.
Good.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to, and to your point, I agree. The reason why Matt Ryan can have a comfortable sleep at night is because who you gonna put up? You gonna put Kurt Dinker up? You definitely can't put Matt Staub up. Not at all, because that's going backwards.
Right.
We're Atlanta has to take in the first round a quarterback. Atlanta has to get a quarterback. Now, like you said, I'm gonna say this. If Raheem Morris, if we'd have came into this game, not losing that game to Detroit, right, and splitting one of these Saints games, he would still be in the running for head coach.
Oh, I think he would too. I think he would too. And listen, let me let y'all in on a secret. We're gonna beat the Chargers. Yeah. We'll beat the Chargers. I'm just telling you right now. We're gonna beat the Chargers. And yeah.
Can I be honest?
Right.
We should have beat the Saints.
We should have. I'm thinking about giving therapy to my son because when Dirk Cutter called that 3rd and 2, I think I saw him turn into a different human. During that
you did a 3rd and 2 with Gurley. They was expecting for you to run.
That's.
So what do? You fake a run and do the pass, throw the pass. They were never looking for you to pass that ball.
If you bootleg Matt to the right, I guarantee you not a soul is dedicated to him going over to the other side. Not us. You could have faked that toss to the right, swung around to the left. And
that's right. They actually swung around to the left and caught one of them wide because they none of their secondary could stand up 6 hours. No, I was watching that all day.
Yeah.
And I look at all these holes, and I said, you looking like you upset. You know you just almost dragged Ridley to the ground. They called one back that was supposed to be one because he turned Ridley.
Right.
So I'm like, all you got to do, that's what I would have been all week long. If I was there for all week long, I would have been working on the screen game. I would have had them so scared to rush. Matt would have had plenty of time in the pocket because I would have had Cam Jordan them so scared to rush. because every time they would have come up with the rush, really a gaze down the field 15 or 20 yards. Every time. On screen.
Every time. Brother Ricky, I'm gonna let the next guy get on here, man. Thank you, my friend. As always, man, come back, bring the knowledge. I know you always do. Please come back, man. Glad to have you back in the house, brother.
No, Raheem just lost his job today, man. That's all I got to say.
Oh no, you ain't never called it wrong. I'm just saying the same thing. Same thing. Thank you, my brother.
Oh, take care, man.
All right, buddy. I'm seeing some of the comments coming through here. My brother Travis, how you doing, buddy? Say we got out coached, out executed. Bottom line, we need Trey Lance. And that was one of the guys that I was looking at, Trey Lance, that we should have given an opportunity to. That we should give an opportunity to coming out. Caller, how you doing? This is Steve. Identify yourself for me.
Hey, Steve, it's Sean.
Sean, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, I apologize. I usually have my other whole button on. I couldn't get it through today, man, but I'm glad that you snuck in here. Talk to me, brother. What I know you were watching with the hundreds of us and everything, but what did you see today?
Man, I don't want to reiterate what everybody else was talking about, and then truth be told, I fell asleep coming out of halftime, third quarter, and to the fourth quarter.
So, listen, Sean is a fan.
100.
That look, when you fall asleep on your team, then that can't be good.
It's not. I felt like it was gonna go down with it. When I woke up was a little bit before AJ Terrell got that strip on tape.
Right.
I had been up, but had nobody heard me say anything on my screen, but that's why I kind of got up and got back to the game.
So what do you think the parts that you saw, especially near the end? Speak more to the end, because I haven't heard a lot of folks aside of a couple of us. Tell me your thought process as the Falcons were driving, not the one at the very end when we threw it into the end zone, but the drive before, which to me, I think just kind of defined the ineptitude of this offense. Tell me what you were thinking as they were driving down the field.
Man, this look like a backyard football, man. He's out there winging it, and Matt Ryan is not supposed to be good in that, but that wasn't good enough. And that Gurley, man, I couldn't believe they would put Gurley in there to make those runs. I'd rather try Brian Hill. That man looked so tired after one of those runs. I couldn't believe they took that guy.
But wait, Gurley has 9 touchdowns, Sean.
He did. Man, I've never seen somebody look so offended who hasn't played all game.
8 carries, 16 yards, 2.0 average. Here's the caveat. He had 1 carry for 13 yards. So you take that 1 carry out, he carried 7 times for 3 yards. I can't make this up. 7 times 3 yards.
That's horrible. I mean, man, if you even look at my live around that time, I was like, yeah, Gurley is done.
I saw you. I did see your comment on that.
Yeah, I've never been a big Gurley fan just because I don't really fan over players on other teams.
Right.
But, and I don't really put a lot of time into watching football besides Falcons football. So, I'm focused on us.
Right.
But what I want to talk about is why is it such an indictment on Morris for the 2 Saints loss? I don't remember us indict anybody else on getting fired for losing to the Saints but Morris. Mm-hmm. And he didn't even have a whole season.
I think a lot of it, honestly, Sean, is fan fatigue. We've gone through the last couple of years, and as I talked to you yesterday, this has been a Groundhog Day thing. Start slow, finish with prosperity, and hopefully going into the next year. Start slow, finish, and look like you have more for the next year. Even with the job Raheem has done and Ulbrich have done with this defense, I think the fans by now, whether he's in an interim tag or not, I think are just tired of the same old thing. It's not Raheem's fault, but he happens to be the Falcon coach. And I think kind of what I was talking about yesterday too, though Quinn got the axe, Raheem was his assistant head coach for 3 years. And I think a lot of people are still going to associate that and let it be known even though they were doing a stupid first down, second down, I do the third down thing, he was the defensive coordinator for the first 3 games. So I think he maybe it's unfair, but I think the fans are saying to myself, unfair or not, our team is still doing the same thing 3 straight years. Lose at the beginning, lose during the first half, try to pretend like they're a team in the second half. What do you think about that? That's about the best I could do.
I mean, I agree with that. It's a whole lot of frustration and built up frustration.
Right.
Not, from the spectacular Super Bowl run that went on, and then you come back the next year, back to playoff, get put out. That year was very somber watching it. It was no excitement, but the defense played well, but nobody seems to remember that year.
Right.
Matt Ryan put up the same numbers that he put up pretty much Super Bowl year. Nobody remembers that.
Right.
Losing in that fall, and
Right.
then the 7-9 came for
Right.
18, 19, and 20 is going to be worse.
Right. Right.
I can understand it's a big frustration. I just don't want us to get so emotional and cut off something that could actually be good.
No.
It's like a lot of people pointed out, other great coaches had hard coaching record before the team that they win now. And I feel like we might be at that point that this might be our good coach.
It's an unfair moniker to put it all on Raheem, but as we're finding out, it's an unfair world, especially when you talk about the NFL. Sometimes you'll get called out. You could have the best offense in the world, but if your defense is garbage, they're going to look at the head coach as being garbage. Right now, Raheem has inherited what we call right now seasoned offense. Remember, everybody was talking about it at the beginning of the year. We had all number 1 picks all on the offense, but we have worn out knee Gurley. We have is he going to play this week, Julio? We have a 36-year-old, clearly not the same as he was a couple of years ago, quarterback in Matt Ryan. We have a used to be all-pro center and Alex Mack. So I think we just need to have some freshness come in here. We're going to lose some favorites on this team, Sean. It's going to be some guys on this team that we're going to be surprised that are cut. I really believe that. And because the next GM coming in, he's going to want to do his way, how he wants to set up the team. And some of these guys who've been living during this Dimitroff era and the way they treat you is going to be different, because the next guy going to come in and say, hey, y'all, everybody, I'm not in love with you. I wasn't here with you that time. I didn't sign you. So I'm not going to treat you that way. All I know is y'all had 3 straight losing seasons. That's why I'm here. I mean, that's my thought.
Yeah. Man, we almost probably going to get cut. And, even the people that we think are doing good may get cut.
Oh, absolutely.
Even Neil or Debo may get cut.
Yeah, Neil may not get re-signed. Debo, I think he's one of the people that you're gonna probably have to keep. You're gonna have to, but I think you're gonna have a better chance of keeping Jarrett and some of the other guys on the team. But I think safeties, you might have a whole group of safeties coming here, a whole new group coming here to play ball.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We know Allen is gone. The older people,
yeah.
I think anybody who's on the older side,
I was looking at the salary thing on Spot Track, and I didn't realize Oliver was making $2 million. Oh, I mean, listen, as much as he's done much better, I can start over at that position. You're gonna have to bring in some young guys through the draft, which I think you need to kind of stockpile a couple of draft picks so you can get some worth out of these guys, because you can't pay a lot of free agents now. Whoever this GM is, he better be somebody that knows how to get talent in the draft. And I'm not talking about top 10 talent, because I don't think we're going to be in the top 10. I think we're going to be right outside, like in that 12, 13 position. So that's why when I was mentioning quarterbacks, and that's what I'm going to leave you with before I ask you the last question. What quarterbacks do you see out there that you would take a chance on and take Lawrence and Fields out because they won't be there? But who do you think?
Trey Lance is one of them.
Yeah, Trey Lance
that I've been hearing about. I looked at a little bit of his highlight. Trash is another one I've heard about.
Right.
I hadn't checked out his highlight.
He's pretty good.
The guy from BYU.
Yeah.
And is it a Mac Jones? I want to say
Matt Jones is the Alabama quarterback. Probably gonna win the Heisman if they go undefeated. I think that's gonna be the other guy.
Those will be the ones. Like I said, I check out their highlights, but I hadn't watched them play because I won't dedicate my whole weekend.
Oh, I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit, brother. I'm gonna catch the other call on the end and hang up here, man. Sean, thank you so much for joining me, brother. We'll catch you on the other side, my friend.
All right, man.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I'm going up to the hour. Listen, we got a lot to talk about. We got to get these guys. We got to get this team turned around. I honestly think today might have marked. Look, as a Falcon fan, you want to sit back and say, I hope they have an opportunity to extend this season and do what they do. But right now, I think today marked the day that you say it's time to start looking in 2021. Time to start focusing on who the new general manager is. Time to start focusing on quarterbacks for the future. And time to start focusing on who's going to come in here and lead this team, lead our team into the next season. Folks, I appreciate y'all. We've gone about an hour or so. Thanks for joining us today. Appreciate you on a hard to take day. Lose to the Saints in the last, not lose to them in the last second, but had an opportunity to win. 21-16. We'll try it again next time, man. Y'all be good. Have a great night. We'll see y'all later.